I'm worried about whether or not I'm going to survive after the battle. I'm not sure what's going to happen. He didn't even acknowledge the people on the porch. It might go.
It might be great, huh?
Yeah, it might go bad. You know what I mean? After the battle, I don't know what's going on. He might, if he never made eye contact with me at all. He ain't making no eye contact with me. I'm letting that man go about his business.
And then
I don't know what to expect.
then if it's for that, you know, I'm
I don't give a shit on nobody out there.
There we go. I need to say I got it.
Just folks, this is the ninth born here. And today, as you can see, I'm being joined by a completely different cast. Now, this isn't the video I promised you guys, or there would be a lot more black men here. But I end up coming down with the sickness and blase. I'm gonna have to reschedule it. But today we're gonna do something different. We're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna play some content for you guys, and then we're gonna put the cast members in the perspective of the people in the content that we're gonna watch. So it's gonna be fun. But first, because I noticed, I got the analytics, and I'm noticing 90% of you guys watching my videos y'all not subscribed. And I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, so help me out. Hit that sub button. It's free. Like if you want to get content for like this in the future. Now, before we get into the first topic, I'm gonna go round robin, and I'm gonna let everybody introduce yourself, let the people know what you do and where they can see more of you guys. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. All right, Jelani, Captain Ogun for the Black Rider Liberation Party, New Generation Black Panther Party, as well as Marathon Tactical, where training is a marathon. A little bit about me is I do a lot of community work, I don't really know what else to say. You can find me on Instagram, marathon_tactical, for any firearms training needs that you might have, expungements, anything to get you correct within your life so that you can properly train and protect your family. We also have a podcast out as well that is going to deal with deep intellectual thinking and talking and stuff as well, high level speaking and talking and thinking. So yeah, you can find us on there with Masterminds Podcast and the Situation Room.
Yep, there you go. He said, I don't know what else to say. He just had a whole minute.
Yeah,
Talking left. You found the words. All right, next up.
I'm Ella G. You can find me on Sister Talk as well as Instagram and Millionaire Match. Oh yeah, don't forget Cash App.
That's our Cash App right there in the corner.
Right?
Y'all want to throw some donuts?
I should have did that.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Shut up.
To Cash App. I'm Eminem. You're only gonna find me on different folks here and there. That's it. Anybody else?
Next.
Come on, bruh.
You gotta say
You're the
next.
last person.
I don't know why I'm waiting for somebody else to
Like
go.
we know it's you. You're the only one left.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's JD, aka Big Snub. I'm a dancer, an artist. My Cash App gonna be down there in the corner, so y'all can support. I also put my website basics.com and my Instagram Snubbleophagus. Y'all can catch me and follow me on all that stuff. I will be having a podcast coming out soon. I'll let y'all know when that's ready.
And you folks know me. I'm your host, the Ninth Board. Now, before we get into the first topic, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about this. Now, I know that we all have had those moments, whether you walk in on your way to school, you in the shower, or you just waiting at the bus stop, but you listening to some music and you forget you in real life. You think that you in a music video. This first segment of the show I'm gonna call Possessed by Omarion. Go ahead, Eminem, play the topic.
Oh, please.
Eminem screen share. Now, after I play this content, I'm gonna get all of your guys' initial thoughts, and I'm gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna go round robin again. We can do the order in which people started to speak up and introduce themselves.
I'm scared. I'm scared what I'm about to see.
Oh, you don't see it yet?
No.
Oh, it's playing.
Possessed by Omarion. Oh Lord. Touch.
Lord.
Did you
Are
guys
you
see
having
it?
trouble screen sharing? Because I can try to share
No,
it.
ma'am.
Yeah, I just did it. Oh, that's weird.
Because we
It's
see
not
nothing.
working. That's weird.
See, I told you to start acting different when it's live. It be
Yeah,
trying to make you look stupid.
My bad, y'all. Start broadcasting. Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Yo, hit the dance again real quick.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Oh!
Damn.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Oh, goodness.
Oh shit! Yeah, he different. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh yeah, he different.
And
You don't even gotta give us no more. You don't gotta give us no more.
I know you've been watching snub videos.
You got him.
I seen that kick move. I seen that jump move when he turned around and jumped backwards. And he crossed his feet, bro. He turned around, was like, bow. Yeah, I mean, listen, I seen a couple moves, bro. I recognize a couple.
I've seen that before. Hold on.
Yeah, I recognize that, you know.
like his little skip.
So walk us through this video. So he was just walking down the street and just kind of like,
Yeah, he's just walking down the street. You know how it is. You walking down the street and it's always a lap. It's always a lap. So you just start busting moves. You feel it.
he was
I don't
saying,
know.
That's
Ella.
happening.
I mean, I've
happening
never
before.
been in that position, but I feel it.
I feel
Hold
like
on,
he was,
JD, talk about that. Talk about that. You said that happened to you before?
That's happened to me before. Where you just get hit. It just takes over. The feeling, and it's really like a feeling you can't fight. It's like when you get that feeling of excitement or you happy. It be that same energy, but through dance, like you just got to get that out.
Yeah, like a reflex.
And whatever he was listening to was taking him there. Whatever he was listening to took him there. So like,
So what
Oh my
are your initial thoughts of seeing this video?
I enjoyed it because it just shows a level of freedom and people being vulnerable that way. It shows a lot of strength because just like getting in a boxing ring or jumping on a basketball court, it takes a level of courage to do that.
Yeah.
Whether it's a win, lose, or draw, it takes courage to do that a lot of people don't have. So even though it's just dancing, it's like a lot of people be wanting to dance like that, but don't have the courage to just do it. They won't do it. They will not do it. So when I see stuff like that, even just watching this video, it's like, hey, I'm not the only one. And it feels good seeing that. So I think that's cool.
Right, he just stole your heart with that little hop at the end. He did.
Shut up.
Now you said nice things about it.
Because hey, it could be that, or he could be out here shooting and blowing shit up.
Hey, yeah.
So,
I thought he was going to air the porch
I
out.
hope it ain't either or. I mean, that's a bit extreme. Like,
Listen,
I'm
it's
gonna
just
either dance or I'm gonna blow shit up. It's
I mean,
either
there
or.
ain't a lot of other options. There really ain't a lot of
Exactly.
other
Trying
That's
to-
either or.
Not that focus he had.
That's how
or
he
go
did.
steal
That's how
some
he
stuff.
did.
Or you can go steal some stuff.
Dang.
A guy
Okay.
walking down that street, that focus with a hoodie on like that,
Right.
either crossing the other side of the street or you gonna let him do what he do. You know what I mean? He was like really, he didn't even look at
Right.
They said, go ahead. Show us the move you did. He didn't even bother to acknowledge them. He just did it.
Yeah.
Right.
That part.
What about his
That
day?
part.
Yeah. He didn't acknowledge them at all.
I'm wondering if he does that like all the time or if that's like he's been doing it for a while because they started recording, so they must have seen him doing it for a
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Like
like,
all
you're
the way down the
prepared for him.
street.
Right. Like they saw him coming.
Yeah. That's right.
So he just like a happy person, just feeling himself, just
All right,
walking down.
Tell me your
Like-
initial thoughts.
Yeah, when I go on my walk, there's this one Asian lady that's always like breaking it down. Like I always see her, she's just stopping and she's dancing and stuff, and she does that every day when I see her on my walk. And I could record her, but it's just like I feel like she's just trying to be seen, and so I don't record her. But I see her doing that like every single day, just stopping in the middle of the walk. I don't want to say where I'm walking.
Yeah.
But yeah, every single day that I'm walking there, she's there walking, and she'll just stop and just break it down. And it's just like, okay. I've seen like the first 2 times, it was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And it's like, okay, enough, check. Like seriously.
Every time.
You're just trying to be seen.
All right, the first question. And you guys feel free to answer the question, whoever is brave enough to step up. Do you think you can beat him in a dance battle?
Absolutely not.
Yes. Yes.
Say no. Nope.
We got
What
two
kind of
no's.
dancing?
I want all the smoke.
Smoke.
All of it. I want
I
all of
Oh, you
that.
want smoke?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm worried about whether or not I'm going to survive after the battle. I'm not sure what's going to happen. He didn't even acknowledge the people on the court. It might go.
It might be great, huh?
Yeah, it might go bad. You know what I mean? After the battle, I don't know what's going on. He might. If he never made eye contact with me,
At all.
he ain't making no eye contact with me. I'm letting that man go about his business.
And
He
then
didn't-
you walk
I don't know
off.
what to expect from him.
Yeah, win, lose, or
And then
draw. I
you
don't know
walk
what's
off
gonna
like
happen.
that's all y'all get.
Yeah,
Y'all get no
He
more.
didn't ask. He didn't say, "Hey, can I get the footage
yeah
of
no.
y'all
Or ask them to
recording?"
stop
He just-
recording.
Good
Because
battle.
I'm bothered.
Nah,
Right.
I give him the business, man. I give him the business.
Yeah. Y'all already know I'm getting those rounds.
I think it depends on the kind of dancing that we do, if I'm a winner or not. Because I mean, there's many a style of dancing. So I mean, I ain't gonna try to twerk him off, but I
Why
think I
not?
can learn some kind
He
of
said,
dancing.
why not?
Why not?
You might not have nothing for that.
I think he could probably twerk with what he was doing.
I know. But
If he
I
did
have
that,
I mean-
movement thing.
I feel what they're talking about, because in a dance battle, I'm not gonna dance your style. You're good at that. I'm not dancing.
Right,
my style.
exactly.
So I mean, you might be able to out twerk him.
he might be able to get him.
Because if this idiot start trying to twerk, you won. You got him.
And if he run out of moves, you won.
He start trying to dance like you.
You won.
Now he get to jumping in the air and stuff.
Right,
You got a
exactly. Yeah. So there's some styles that I know I could beat him in. I'll just say that.
I kind of want to see the video again.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to the second topic because we trying to trail in off. It was supposed to be the first one, but that topic that we just talked about was more personal. This next topic, I don't know how I feel, but I mean, in today's society, if you dating a woman, you pretty much dating a single mother. Like that's how it's gonna be. But the success of that relationship is going to it's going to be dependent on your relationship with that kid as well. But what do you do when that kid is a little POS? That brings us into the next video I'm calling Bad Kid.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Eminem screen share.
You see my screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good job.
Even a street nigga, you want to be a street nigga.
It's
Got all the guns, but you ain't gonna shoot nothing. All the guns,
There we go.
got all the guns, but you ain't gonna shoot nothing.
Hey, make sure you start off on here when you screen share. When you start screen sharing.
I'll slap you.
Oh, okay.
You don't fight. You think you hard, you're not hard. You're You're not that guy, buddy. You're not that guy.
Not that good.
Shoot all the guns, but you ain't gonna shoot none.
What makes you think that? What makes you think I'm not gonna shoot
You a
that?
sweet nigga. You a sweet nigga.
Who told you, your mama?
You a ladies man.
What? Man, I'm a real P around here, bro. Ain't nothing sweet.
These girls play you, boy. They play you like a video.
All right, let me walk you guys through the scenario.
Wow.
So you're dating this woman, right? For about 3 months. It's dope. You're thinking about taking it to the next level, like she could be the one. And she's feeling you too. So she asked you to go pick up her son from school. You pick up that little, and this happens.
Hello.
Now, first, let me get your initial thoughts when you first see the video.
For a second, I thought it was a great thing about a father and a son. But given the scenario you gave us, I'm a talk my just like he is.
Exactly.
If I'm be dating your mom, I'm about to be in your life, and we think forever. Oh, it's over. Like, you're not about to just be running me into the ground. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna ignore the child.
He said, if I slap you, you ain't gonna do nothing.
You a ladies man.
That was my favorite.
You a Drake. You a ladies man. What's Drake's new album called? Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
You a ladies man. Wow. Oh.
See, I agree with JD in a way that I would definitely correct the child, but I wouldn't talk mess to him. I would correct him in a parental way. Like, I would definitely, if I'm planning on being in that kid's life, I'd be like, no, actually, you're not going to disrespect me like this. I'm planning on being with your mother and, tell him exactly how things are going to go. I'm going to be here. You will respect me. I'm going to be, with this woman and whatever my stats are going to be. But I would definitely correct the boy, tell him he's not going to be talking to me like that and whatnot. And
that kid has the vernacular of a 27-year-old.
He does. Like, he's just been talking to some adults.
Yeah, exactly. Even the way
but
he's
you need to put, but I will put him in a child's place. I would tell him he's a child. He's going to talk to me like a grown-up. Like, I'm an adult. You're not going to talk to me like you grown. And I will put him in a child's place. Somebody needs to put him in his place. Like, he's a child. He can't be talking to adults like that. The reason why he acts like that is because he doesn't have a grown-up telling him that he's a child and he needs to act like a child.
Yeah. It's because he's the man of the house at his mom's
exactly.
house.
And he needs to say, I'm the man of the house now.
Yeah.
I'm the man of the house now. You're a child. Act like a child. That's what he needs to tell him. I would not go in and be like, nah, nigga, I'll whoop your ass or whatever you would want to say as a dude. But no, you need to let that kid know you're a child. I'm the man now. You can step down. Take your place as the child. I'm running this now.
Well, the thing is, the child is a child regardless. Like, I don't feel like even if your mom is single, you're not the man of the house. The reason why? Because you're not fucking your mom and you're not paying no bills.
I mean,
you're not married to her. You're not the man of the house.
Right.
You are your mother's child.
Exactly.
In a child's place.
Even a kid that's to the point where he thinks he could talk like that to another adult, clearly he has been feeling like he's the man of the house at his mom's house. Like, he if it's just him and his mom and he ain't had any other male role model in the house, like, he's already taken that place with the way he's talking to dude.
Exactly.
Well, and that's because a lot of mothers allow their sons to feel that because they don't have that man in their life, so they allow their son to feel that way.
Exactly.
So the son now, in some way, feels like his mama is his girl. So
exactly.
I
and
can
he
say
needs
this
to be in the role of the adult. He needs to be in that role of the man. But if the dude be like, nah, I'm in that role. You get in your place. You're a child. I'm the man of the house. So you go ahead and take your little child's place and don't talk to me like that. You're being disrespectful and I'm not going to stand for it. That's what you need to do.
He can always walk home.
Well, or exactly, or take your consequence and walk home.
I would have pulled over and let him out.
Yeah, that'll work too. Because you're a child and you're not going to talk to me like that.
Oh, you grown. Say less. Get out.
Right? Walk home and tell your mom why. Because I'm not standing for you disrespecting me. I'm a grown man. Don't talk to me like that.
I'm not arguing with no kid, so I'm just
exactly.
He said you soft.
Did he do that? Like, wow.
The hell?
It would have been hard not to choke that little boy, though. It would have been so hard not to choke him.
No, not for me. I would have just did it.
You would have just did it?
Sometimes you can do exactly what the video we just watched. It's like the same age range. The same age range of the video we watched before the show. Of old school knocking out young kids.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put on the gloves, kid. We gonna see.
Right.
We gonna see how soft I am. We gonna see what's gonna happen if you slap me.
I mean, but that was a grown man, though. The dude was 20 and 50. That's a little kid.
And this kid's under.
You should have waited. You should have waited before you talk mess, then. That's on you, buddy.
Well, that's how I feel. Like, even
if it will be classified as child abuse, then you don't do it.
No,
it's not.
It's not.
Hey,
child abuse. It's not assault at that point.
Listen, once you're over 9, I would take that kid to the gym. He's signing a waiver, bro, and it's legal as hell.
Yeah, if you allow
or his mom signing the waiver for him.
If the mom has to sign the waiver,
sign that waiver. Go ahead, sign that waiver. And all you gotta do is like, hey, yo, I'm gonna start taking you into the gym with me.
I feel like that would
That's
be
all
like
I do. Hey, yo, I'm gonna start taking you into the gym with me, but I need you to sign the waiver in case you get hurt.
I feel like all this depends on the mom anyway, because like you'd have to talk to her to be like, are you gonna let this little kid punk me? Like, am I gonna start being able to be the man of the house, or how's this gonna work? Because if you're gonna have problems,
I'm not asking.
Thank you, 9.
You're not about to let this kid punk me.
That's what I'm saying, though. If you start having problems,
the thing is, if that kid feels that brave, if he feels that brave already, it's because she's been letting him. So you going to her and telling her you're not gonna let this kid talk to me? Yeah, I am. I let the kid talk to me that way. Why would I not let him talk to you that way?
Look here. Here's the thing, though. When we dealing with men, we gotta understand. There's a lot of men out here who's in a man body but still has an feminine mind. And what I mean by feminine mind is not no diss at the feminine energy, because again, with science, we both have the same chromosomes until the daddy splits off. The male determines the sex of the child, right? But the mind of the man, if the man is not thinking in the masculine with the rational, mathematical, scientific mind and not thinking emotional, then emotionals would tell me that I'm going to deal with this kid based off how he's making me feel. When now, like Nine said, that you are dealing with a child who's on an equal level of intelligence and emotional intelligence with dealing with you, because he's speaking to you in the same manner that a grown man would. So if you can't talk to this child and cultivate this child, because they're doing it for this entertainment purposes, but for the sake of the scenario, you have a child to where if you have a rational mathematical mind and you're dealing like a man, you thinking like a man, you can cultivate and turn this child into a strong warrior, a strong person that can intellectually can advocate for himself. Imagine this child, if he get in trouble at school, he can clearly say what happened and what went wrong, opposed to a child who don't have the intellect and emotional intelligence to advocate for themselves. And then the teacher can tell him, well, you did this, you did that, and he feel like, I can't, because a lot of children are taught to suppress their thoughts, right? They can't speak up. Now I can't tell you what's wrong. He can't defend himself. He's just gonna take the referral. He's gonna take the suspension. Keep telling me that I'm in trouble. You keep telling me that I'm bad. This kid probably can intelligently articulate himself to where he can get himself out of trouble. You know what I mean? So now you have to think, well, if you're gonna be that man in that child's life, are you gonna be reacting emotionally? Or are you going to act intelligent, rational, and use your mathematical brain and cultivate this child into a young man who can now break the cycle of whatever it is, however he learned to speak like this. So if his mother is enforcing or letting this happen, then it's going to take for a strong man. Because I only believe that man can check man. You know what I mean? Because we understand. Man can check man. A mother can try her best, or a woman can try her best, but it's not going to be as receptive as a man telling you, hey, young man, I need you to chill, calm down. And you got to respect yourself as a god, because once you respect yourself as a god, I don't even like to use the word king anymore, because kings are monikers and monikers fall. You hear what I'm saying? So if you respect yourself as a god, then you're going to speak and hold yourself to it in your divine manner. And when you lower yourself, you're disrespecting your future self. So everybody on this call probably got a future self that they want to be great at. I know that little kid want to be great at something. So why disrespect your future self? That's just my take on it.
That's what's up. That was mathematical. Show you that. Like that was dope. That was real though. That was real.
Yeah. And there's no better way of humbling somebody than the gym. 100%.
And we circle back
like
to that.
y'all don't understand.
I'll be like, my thing. Here's where I go. Somebody talks to me like that. I'm like, can you see me on the pull-ups? Probably not. On the pull-up bar. Can you see me on the pull-up bar? Probably not. Can you draw better?
That kid's talking guns though, bro. He talking. He said you got all them guns. You ain't gonna shoot nothing. I mean, he'll shoot something.
Because my response is, it ain't time to shoot. I ain't just gonna be running out here shooting. There's a time and place for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a way to educate and let them know that. And like you said, that's when a man knows how to talk to a man. You know, because you know, a woman not gonna be able to do that.
She probably think it's cute.
No, they do. Like if you pay attention to how some women dress, the way some women dress their sons look like the dudes that left them.
Yeah. Gucci belts, all kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with that. You know, I ain't gonna say all women, but some people feel like look at my little man. Like you even call him a little man. He's not a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how that cute, receptive kind of thing comes across when kids can speak like that. People think it's cute. That's why it's on video. That's why it's recorded. This ain't the first time I've seen this kid, but somebody clearly think the way that he's speaking in his vernacular is cute. So they're going to, you know, push that on him and be like, hey, look at my little man. He's so cute. Girl, he crazy. Or even with the guy, he might take him around his homies and like, he talked to the homies like he one of the homies. Bro, he's 9 years old. What you, if you don't go,
right.
Well, and then when he see the way other women and men respond to each other, and then he's being called a little man.
Yeah.
Okay, so they gonna look at me and respect me the same, so I can talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remind my son too. He understands. You're my son. You're a boy. I'll never call you a man or tell you to act like a man, because that's not your place to do that. Mm-hmm. That comes with responsibilities that you are not ready for, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So you'll always be a boy until you are a man. You know.
You earn that title.
Yeah, you gotta earn that title. That's right. That's there. Contemplate, Don. I see you thinking. Nah, you over there thinking. What you got?
I was thinking some people. It's, when JD said that, like, it makes sense because it's the same. It's the same as when people have dogs. I don't know humans are dogs, but we're social creatures just like pack animals. And when people have puppies that are pit bulls, and the pit bull is chewing on their leg and biting on them, and they think it's cute, so they're laughing and they're playing with it, and the little puppy, he sees the energy and the reaction that he's getting, like, oh, they think this cute. But once that little puppy turns into a 90-pound pit bull and he's doing those same things, it's no longer cute. Like, now it's just dangerous. And it's the same way for black men, black boys more particular. Like, if you think the things that we're doing are cute when we're slagging our pants or acting like we're drunk, you know, like the little kids you see on viral videos, then they're receiving
to emulate that behavior.
Yeah, they're receiving positive energy, so they're gonna keep doing what's giving them positive energy.
You're right about that. I will say that is very dangerous, because if you grow up to be a grown man and thinking he can speak to somebody like that, that could be the end of your life. In particular,
you will be losing. He's gonna lose some teeth very early.
I don't see you growing up to be a grown man speaking like that to everybody.
I mean, Tupac.
Like y'all know what happened. You know what happened to that one kid like that. Today I got time, right?
Oh yeah, he got shot.
They found him behind the trash can. Mm-hmm. And he's young. You can't just run around talking to people like that. Not everybody values their life, so they're not gonna value yours.
Exactly.
Right.
Even that kid, I mean, there's a lot of things. You know, the internet provide a way for everybody to anybody to be anybody. You know what I mean? Anything, and it's entertainment. It's a lot of people out here who just gets online and they do things for entertainment and they don't really live that life. So at the end of the day, you know, it's a lot of rappers, a lot of people out here now flashing guns, talking about each other and everything, and that leads to more problems than anything. So if this kid think he can just recklessly use his mouth in certain situations, I'll give you an example. 50 Cent said in his book, in certain kind of meetings, you see people that's making $1 million deals, they talk to each other like cocksucker and all this all extra stuff, and then as soon as the deal is done, they shake hands. He said, man, I've seen people call each other names over $1 million deals on normal circumstances on the streets. That'll be the end of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, you gotta have, like, again, they gotta have emotional intelligence, even if you have the vernacular of like, these are the kind of strewed words that I want to use or I gotta use to make deals or to get my point across. You gotta have emotional intelligence to know that, you know, there's a place and time and place to use it. And also, if you're gonna use it, you gotta be able to handle whatever's gonna come with that later on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah, so obviously it's important to pay attention to your kid's behavior because shit like that can get them in jail. or beat up. Any confrontation they have with a police officer is going to be potential death for them. And speaking of police officers, that brings us into our next topic, the next video. Have you ever seen a police officer hold another police officer responsible? Because we always be seeing police get out of line, pushing up.
In real life, no, but I've seen a video of that.
Bro, I ain't never seen it in a video before.
It was a few years ago, but I seen a video of that of a police officer, not giving a man his rights. You know what I'm saying? The way he was mistreating him, and the other police officer was on his ass about that. Like, you can't do that. Like, you're out of pocket. You cannot do that. That is illegal and that is wrong. Like, and he was on him about it. I don't know where I saw the video, but it was on the internet, and it was a real, like, the dash cam, like it was on. You can hear them talking. He was on his ass about that shit.
Nice. Yeah, I've never seen
rare.
Like that.
Yeah, it is rare. It happens, but it's rare, and we don't see it. We don't talk about it.
It almost never happens in public. Like, they'll usually like reprimand each other in the car, like, yo, you messed up, but it's never usually in public.
Yeah, but this one was like, it was like in front of the guy, like in front of the man that was getting mistreated by the police officer. The other cops showed up and right there on the spot, like, was on his ass about that.
All right, go ahead, Eminem, play this next video. Next topic, I'm calling Good Cop, Bad Cop.
I remember that too.
We guys able to tell what happened? Cause I walked you.
No.
All right, so there was a protest. One police was on the line and he was pushing them back. There were people on their knees with their hands up. He turned around. One little girl was on the ground with her hands up, and he pushed her. And immediately, a woman officer was on his head, pushed his ass all the way back past the line, and that was him running back, Garrett.
Yeah, he ran
and cussed him out. Get back over there.
She was a sergeant. God. I think she was a sergeant on the scene. She was
exactly.
Was it it looked like a black lady. Was the cop a black lady?
She was a black lady.
Yeah.
I know it's a little hard to see, but what are your initial thoughts upon seeing something like this?
It seems like something that a black lady would do.
Yeah.
To reinforce to actually do the right thing.
Right. She was just like,
It was good.
No, not on my
It was
watch.
good to see.
Right.
It was good to see another officer, be it she was above rank or the same rank or under. Either way, her stepping up and doing that spoke volumes and says a lot. Now I know, like, that may cause some issues just because one, she's a woman,
Right.
and two, she's a black woman, and three, you're a black woman in the police force standing up against, you know, that bullshit. They frown upon that, you know, in the police. They do frown upon that, but they frown upon it because, you know, it's allowed to do the bullshit, and when you try to do something right as far as like correcting it, they frown upon it because not enough people do anything to stop the bullshit from happening. So yeah, what she did was dope. That should happen more. I'm glad it did happen. I'm glad we got a glimpse of it. But it's one of those things that whether we have footage of it or not, that should be something that's always being done. Not just by citizens, but also those in that position. They should always be doing that, no matter what.
Absolutely. I think there's been, actually not in recordings, but there has been a lot of shows that are not really shows, but articles that shows pictures of different police officers that allegedly got in trouble for, or got reprimanded, or even lost their jobs for intervening or calling out different cops that were dirty.
Y'all remember Chris Dorner, right? Y'all remember?
Was it the white dude in Seattle, the white cop?
There was a lot of them, actually. There were several of them.
Shot up all the LA officers. He shot all the LA officers up. There was a black militant guy. He came from the military, served his country. He was on scene with another officer who did something wrong. Then he reported him to his superiors. And then after that, he lost his job, lost everything. And then he tried to do everything he can to get his job back in other places and so forth. And he got blackballed so hard that he actually went in LA and he went on a shootout. Y'all remember he went on a shootout? He started shooting the officer.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
That's the guy.
I never heard the background of that one.
Brother. Yeah, I remember that. I know
exactly. Found him in the woods, and they threw an incendiary grenade in the woods, and whatever cabin he was in, threw an incendiary grenade, and they burned him to death.
Wow, I never heard the background of that story.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, Chris Dorner. Chris Dorner was, you know, I would say he a hero because he didn't go fight. He didn't go fight for.
Yeah, I need to Google Chris Dorner. That is.
Chris Dorner. He got a whole manifesto and everything. So yeah, he lost his job. He reported something that was, you know, police brutality. He didn't go fight for his country to come back, become an officer to watch the same people he fought for in Afghanistan over there to be abused by the same people who should be in authority. So just like seeing that situation, she could have lost her job. I'm not sure of the outcome of this, but I do know it was like some controversy on the outcome of what she did as well. I'm not sure if she lost her job or something like that, but there's been numerous cases of people losing their jobs. Yeah, but the thing about it, it happens to black people when they do it.
Exactly.
When white people, officers do it, they move to a different county, or they move to it. We hear about them getting their jobs back, or they just
they're recommended.
Agency or something.
It's
actually interesting that you brought that up because I've seen a couple different stories where the officers or sergeants who are holding other officers accountable have been in the military or in some sort of thing like that prior to joining the force. And it's like very common because in all of the things, I watched this one, I can't remember the names, but it was they had killed someone because they were using the baton and sticking it down his throat until he actually just died in the back of the police car. And then they were already
Hey, I don't know if you can talk like that.
Oh. Okay, let me start over. I've just noticed a common occurrence of officers who are holding other officers accountable that they have some military background. And in each one of those situations, you've heard them express how they went and fought for this country so we could have our freedoms and our rights. And then they come back and think they're doing something positive by joining the police force and then see the corrupt setup that it has. And then they can't stand for it and they'll speak out and then they lose their position because of it.
That's exactly what happened. We usually would typically end up happening. That's exactly what happens, especially from my research and the work that I do. I have to be in tune and stay aware about the things that's going on. And that's why I know about the Chris Dorner story. So, the media, of course, would like to paint him like he went on a whole rampage of shooting LA officers. It was all kind of extra stuff, but he had a whole manifesto and people didn't know that background story. So a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people come from the military. They either join the police force, or I even have a military friend, that little brother of mine, that he actually is a ambulance, he's an EMF right now, so in Arizona. So they usually get back into the field of being an essential workers in some form of capacity. So when they do come back, you're right, they get to see. And it, honestly, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Even me being a revolutionary, I do know that that's a hard job to do. That's a very hard job to do, especially if you want to jump into that in today's climate with all the protests going on. And these people are human just like anybody else. So it's the thing about it is that the system and the fraternity can turn you into something to where you didn't initially sign up to be at first, right? So because you're joining this, imagine being an officer and you have a good heart, but now you're getting bottles thrown at you, you get Molotov cocktails thrown at you because you signed up, and this is just part of your job description. That's why a lot of police officers in Portland resign, because they probably signed up for a good reason. Like you said, it's a good cop, bad cop, right? So I got to play both sides. So if they signed up for a good reason, now you're getting bottles thrown at you and everything else. And then, it's kind of tough to say that you're going to come out the same person when you went in. You know what I mean? So to me, I think that was very honorable and very admirable what she did, because I do remember this case that the young lady was just sitting down and he chased somebody else out. And the young lady, now he was getting milk thrown on him and all kind of stuff, whatever. Then the young lady was just sitting down, and because she was sitting down, he just kind of really shoved her all the way to the floor. She was sitting on her behind, and he shoved her to the floor. And the black lady was like, at that particular moment, she seen her daughter, she seen her cousin, she seen her niece. That's exactly what she seen. So on the flip side of that, when the white officers see other people that they pull over, the reason why you don't see them attacking white people, you see the one guy they took over, he shot the church up, they took him for Taco Bell, took him to get Burger King. That's because they see their nephews, they see their cousins, they see their family members as well. So they're more reluctant to be abusive to somebody who they see as their brother, their cousin, their auntie. When they look at them, they see themselves. When we look at ourselves, we see ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, I'm not going to be as harsh, because I can talk my brother 9 down, right? If I'm an officer and he's doing something, that we're going to have a different conversation. It's a different vibe. It's a different atmosphere, and it's a different energy, opposed to somebody who don't know you, don't look like you, and there's always going to be a disconnect. So.
Yeah, but that disconnect isn't something that we created. That disconnect is what society has created. Like, our government has created that disconnect through subliminal messaging to make sure that there's a divide within society, a divide within the people. What's that?
That said, the messages aren't so subliminal.
I have no idea what you just said.
They're not subliminal. The messages are not so subliminal. But
the majority of them are subliminal.
I remember being a kid.
Are subliminal.
I remember being a kid and hearing them call us super predators.
Right.
And saying that they should stop us young. So I don't see how that's very subliminal. That's pretty.
But no, what I mean by subliminal messaging is like whenever you watch a movie and all the villains are black. That's subliminal messaging.
Yeah, I did a video about this.
Exactly.
All Disney villains are dark.
Exactly. So that's what I mean by the subliminal messaging. And when all the villains and all the bad guys are black, when you're a police officer, you're gonna see a black person and you're gonna see a bad guy automatically, because your subliminal messaging tells you that black is a bad guy.
So and they're openly telling you that anyway. So
exactly. So they're already guilty. They're guilty of being a bad guy just by being black. So when you pull him over, he already committed crimes by being black. He's a guilty bad guy, black. So I mean, that's what I mean by subliminal messaging. Mm-hmm. He's already bad just by being black. He's a bad guy. He's a criminal. He's the thug. He's the villain of whatever situation happens. He's the bad guy just for being black.
Well, and I think the important thing to notice too about the video is, like, obviously the tense situation it already was. So there's people that are jumping out, there's people holding signs, they're obviously there for protest, and then you have
so the
police
energy.
officers. Right, so the energy's fueled as it is, but being a police officer, it is your job to diffuse that situation. And I think it's important to know what the female officer did, because it shows, like, already people were responding in the crowd in a positive way because they saw what she did. She held her own people accountable. And it's important, like, for any police officer to want to, if they want to progress in a positive manner, which, I mean, clearly some of them do, some of them don't, we don't know. But as far as a organization, they should be moving towards that direction, because it's the only positive direction they could be. So I think the video is great, but it's important for, like, police officers to take note of that and start acting in that manner. Hold your people accountable. But then we're relying on human beings. So
that part.
Because even if you agree with, like, if you're a racist cop and you even agree with that stuff, like, some of the things they're doing is just blatantly stupid. Like, you're even if I am a racist cop and I'm trying to be racist, like, you're extremely overtly racist in petty ways to where it's gonna prevent me from being racist to the way I want to, because we're gonna be getting caught up.
Well, see, the thing about it is, even if you're not racist, you still have this subliminal thought in your mind that life is bad. You're still the bad guy, regardless. You're like, even if you have black friends or whatever, like, even black people have this little thing in the back of your subconsciousness, in the back of your consciousness, that the black person is the villain. The black person is the bad guy. Regardless of what you do, where you are, if there's anything that happens, any bad thing that happens, the first suspect is whoever was in there that's the darkest.
I think the easiest way, you can tell who's gonna think that way, but you have to find their kids. You have to give their kids the baby doll test.
Exactly. And practically every kid has, every single kid that you put line up is gonna pass that test the same way.
Huh?
Every single kid that has been through public school or that's been through any kind of been in the public, is going to watch public TV or anything, is going to have that test the same way. Unless you've indoctrinated them differently.
I tested my daughter at like 8, and I tested her like 4 too, and both times she acquitted. Dark skin was positivity.
Well, because you're teaching her differently. Well, good for you.
That's the thing, though. What you're talking about is social engineering, and we have been socially engineered in slavery to not look at black as being good, right? So when we talk about social engineering, we got to think they wear black for funerals, white for weddings. You got a great white shark, and then you got a killer whale. You black cat cross your path. Everything that's black is synonymous.
Devil's food cakes,
right? Even when you think about 666, everybody knows about 666. Melanin equal melanin. So now they saying the mark of the beast, they internally is telling you
right.
You're black, you have or are the mark of the beast. Now
even in the religion,
right? Even in religion,
if you're dark skinned, it's a curse.
Right.
Yeah. So we've been taught to hate everything that is is black. Voodoo or anything that's dark magic.
Black magic.
Even with your shadows, like your shadow self.
White liars.
You should be coming into your shadow self, and if you think about it, the light is actually pulled out of the dark anyway. If you get into metaphysics and so forth. But I say it to say that we have been socially engineered to hate everything that is black. So on the flip side of that, they are dark. Yeah. So they are programmed as well to hate anything that is dark, and anything that's dark is synonymous with being bad.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And why do you guys think that is? Because I noticed that too, and because it's not just a black thing. And people will say, like the Asian culture or the Indian culture, for example, they'll say that they lust after light skin because dark skin.
You're right with the Asians. Yes, the Indian is Asian too. So, and it goes with all of the Asians
anyways,
too.
They're saying that they don't like dark skin because it represents a farmer being outside and working. But in every other society, they say that things that represent a man working or providing is attractive. Like dad bod or whatever the new fad is women are talking about. If a man's a provider, the things that represent a man being a provider are symbols of attraction to women. So then why is the number one reason for them telling me that dark skin is not attractive is because it represents a farmer, a worker, a man who's out there working, and not the nobility who's been inside the whole time.
Exactly, but not the nobility, because it's the actual having to work, like actually having to work, not actually having the money. So it's like you would pay somebody to do your work, to do the farming, the work. Like you're not going to do the work yourself.
No.
You have money.
Like you're saying it's a class thing.
Let me tell you.
It's a class thing.
I've worked as a drainage companies and have been at manors, like inside manors, like 3 acres, 4 acres, private homes.
Right.
And the women will still come out and lust after us when they don't have to. So it's like it's literally working, symbolize attraction for women. So why is it their number one excuse for dark skin not being attractive in those cultures is because it represents a working man. It doesn't make sense.
Well, it's what they've been ingrained to say. It's what's expected of them. If they say something otherwise, then they're what's called a black sheep, or they're gonna get looked down upon because they're being honest about how they feel. Like, it's expected of them to lust after what's been pushed all over your social media or just media in general. It's what society wants to say.
And that's also true because like I was actually thinking, like I was dating this guy and he's very well off, like he's a millionaire. And I was like, he every time he goes somewhere, he'll like have the people at the hardware store take the stuff and put it in the basket, and from the basket put it in his car, and call AAA if he needs his time. And I'm like, does this dude know how to do anything for himself? So I had to call him and I'm like, dude, do you know how to change a tire? Because like, it's attractive that he, you know, can have a person do all this stuff for me. You know, he can, that's hot too, that he can have a person do all this stuff for me, but does he know how to do any of this stuff himself? Like, that's really important too. And so I think the fact that they're looking at you is because you know how to do this stuff. That's really hot. It's really hot that, you know, the guy can get the stuff done, but we really, really need a person that can actually do the stuff himself as well.
So yeah, that's what thing too is that when we speak about man and we think about masculinity,
exactly,
again, man lives in a mind. Man womb is in his mind. So when they say it's a man's world, that's because man is supposed to create. Man births. When they say like supreme mathematics, number 9 again with mathematics, 9 is born. So when they say knowledge is born, or when things are born, it is born first in the mind, and then it comes into fruition and it's manifested into reality. So when you think about man lives in the mind, man creates. Then a woman has the aesthetics, and woman comes through and she cultivates the idea of man, and then she makes it into reality. So when you think about man creates, man works, man does these things. It's a natural thing for the feminine mind to connect, because that's what we talking about balance now. When you talk about balance, you got to have the equal masculinity, you got to have the equal femininity as well. So the feminine mind is going to naturally be drawn to the man that's going to work. But they also say that if you don't figure out how to make money in your sleep, then you're going to work for the rest of your life. So it's a difference. You got to figure out a way to balance, to figure out how to make money in his sleep. But also that requires doing work. That also requires creating. I got an online school, so I have to create, I have to cultivate, I have to think, I have to create the online school, I have to put the videos up, I have to contact the people, just like Nine had to contact all of us to get on this call, right? So because he contacted this call, and then it takes for another person to come in and make sure that you see who's running the call, who's doing the videos. See what I'm saying? So who's making sure that the slides is working? So it has to be an in tandem thing to where you're working side by side. So when a woman comes out and she see the man working in the field, yes, that's going to be more attractive than this man who's doing nothing and he's just being an able body that's there and can provide. Because if you can work and you can provide, that's a different ball game there. That's a different ball game. So yeah, when a man lives in the mind, a man's going to create, he's going to cultivate things, and that's going to be more attractive to a woman, to the feminine mind, than of somebody who's just being there. And that's like what, you know, what Sis said. You know, she was like, well, this guy he can provide, he can do all this stuff, but it's attractive to my feminine mind. A man that can change a tire. Can you do these things? Can you create and can you build? Because men build. Men is going to build something because our womb is not in our belly. Woman womb is in her belly. She cultivates life. That's the greatest build you can do. You know what I mean? We just here to give the spark to life. But the man is going to come out, and man is supposed to build and create and use his hands. That is what we are here to do. Also use our minds, because now we have the technology age. It's the information age. So what can you build online if you can't build in the physical aspect? So that's something that I think, to answer that question, is that why do they feel that way? Why do women look towards the man that's going to be in the field working? Because her feminine mind is telling her, that's where my balance is at. My balance is not with the man supposed to be in the house with me. Okay, you got me.
Right.
You got all these people doing stuff for you, and you in the house with me. I'm supposed to be in the house making the house what? A home.
Right.
I'm not making the house a home with you. You go build the home. Let me cultivate the home. Let me decorate the home. Let me make this house a home so that you can do your job.
Well, and then a lot of that too is instinctual.
Whoa, bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, you heard what was going on?
Yes, I've been listening. I've just been listening.
You out there eavesdropping?
I've been listening. No, but it's an instinctual thing. You know what I'm saying? For us to be that way, like us, because we're the providers, we're the protectors. You know what I'm saying? And that's why women come to us for those things. They don't provide that. We provide that. Hence why we propose. Hence why, in all actuality, we're the catch, because we have all that to offer, because that's what our job is, naturally and instinctually. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do. So, I mean, I agree with bro. Like, you hit it on the nose, man. You definitely did.
You know, a lot of times we want women to submit, but do you fit the qualifications as a man to have a woman submit? Are you a guy? Can you teach? Can you provide? Can you do all
You have to have those things for her to submit.
Yeah.
You have to have those things for her to
Don't
submit.
just call yourself something.
Because if you don't have that for her to submit,
Who's she submitting to? Herself?
Right.
Because
She might as well
again,
be by herself.
you just said the X and the X is the woman, right? And the X and the Y is the man. It's the man that determines the sex, not the sexual preference or whatever you want to, what you want to identify as, but it determines the sex of the child. So now, if she is dealing with the X and the X, she's the XX, we the XY. So if you're not providing and doing these certain things that's making her feel balanced, then she's only dealing with her feminine self, because we do have the X. We do have the divine feminine energy in us as men as well. When we think about men who want to dance dressing all the Gucci and the Louis, even if a man has the eye for interior decorating, that is aesthetics. That is the feminine quality of yourself. Don't be mad about it. It doesn't mean that you're any less of a man. But what woman wants to deal with herself? She's looking to you for guidance, protection, and to build and everything else, but all she getting from you is her divine self. She don't want to sell. She didn't get with you to be with herself, to deal with her X and the X, and deal with you and your X, and you don't even have the Y. You're not even focusing on the Y, because the Y is going to tell you whether or not you're going to be there to build, protect, teach, educate. What do you have to give to this woman for her to even submit?
I'm glad you said that. And it is true. Like, men, like you said, men are the catch, because we're the ones who propose. So we're the gatekeepers to marriage. Like, women are the gatekeepers to a kid.
Life.
And sex.
Can't force a woman to have
Sex and a child.
Life.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we would be the gatekeepers to relationship, provision, and marriage.
Mm-hmm. All have a role.
Speaking of marriage,
all have a role.
Let's say you do find that woman that you're ready to give her your divine masculinity to. The one you're ready to give that last name to, give her your last name, make her the mother of your child for life. And let's say we all seen in movies those parts where the preachers say, "Speak now or forever hold your peace." And it's usually only in the movies where the drunken ex runs down the runway saying, "Stop, stop." In this next video, I'm calling you Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace. Something similar to that happened. I'm gonna let Eminem play the next video.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We can't hear it.
Let's see.
There
There you go.
Damn. You're not gonna do this, are you?
I'm sorry?
You're not gonna really do this, are you?
Yes, we are. You
No,
can go
you're
back
not.
and sit down. Yes,
No.
we are.
No, no. Come on, man, with this. No. This ain't going nowhere. Why you need to talk? Why you come up here? Why you need to talk? Oh, what is there to talk about? First of all, she just left you. I'm sorry, I'm talking to my son. Yeah, but no, I don't listen. I'll talk.
If you did not want to come, you can leave.
Well, I'm
you
invited.
You should
I
have
invited
came.
myself.
If you do not want to
Well,
get
I'm
married.
sorry, but I'm going to speak my piece whether you like it or not.
Well, you need to leave because we're going to do
I
it.
need to talk to my
What do
son.
you
I'm
mean?
about to marry you. I'm talking to my son. Please don't interrupt.
No, I'm going to interrupt you. You can
Well,
leave.
anyway, me and you need to talk.
No, you can leave. Somebody escort him out because he can leave.
It's like,
You can leave. You are not going to do
All right. So was he talking? Was it
That was his dad. So I'll give you guys
Okay.
the backstory on this
Okay.
particular video. The father had a problem with his son marrying this woman because this woman had just left him, and now they're getting married immediately after they get back together. So he had a problem with the wedding.
So she just left the son, and then
They got back
with him.
together, and now they're getting married.
Oh yeah, I'd feel some type of way about that too.
Yeah, I feel some kind of way about it.
I mean, I feel that too. But before I say something about it, I'm gonna get you guys' initial thoughts. What are your initial thoughts of seeing something like this
My initial
play out
thoughts
in real
like,
life?
I want to hear.
why did he wait till the wedding day to say something?
Because they say speak now or forever hold your peace. And maybe he's
That's
trying
the
to
last
speak.
guess I got.
Maybe he tried to speak and it didn't work out anytime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the situation, they broke up and then all of a sudden they get married. Oh no, y'all not about to do that. And she popped up like, nah, we're not doing that.
I feel it. I mean, it's kind of like a last-ditch effort to speak your piece to the person you love. Like, I don't think you're making the right decision, but like,
I'm hoping that like the father tried. Like he tried the whole time before. Like the whole day he was just talking to homie like, nah, bruh, you don't want to do that. Like the whole week before, the whole month before, and then on the last day when he said that speak now and forever hold your peace, he's like, yo, I gotta keep saying it. Like this is my last chance. Because otherwise, like Eminem said, why'd you wait so long?
exactly.
Like, why'd you wait till your exact last moment to stop it?
But
Because
also,
sometimes in that last moment, you can change some things. Like right then and there, like boom, like
a
oh yeah, you're
dramatic.
right, Dad. Like you sometimes
you
it
right,
calls
Dad?
for that.
Hold on.
It calls for that.
Hold on. You right, Dad? Let's play some more of that. Let's play some more of that.
Because they look like
Let's
they're
see
gonna
if
fight.
Dad was right. Let's see if he thought Dad was right.
It doesn't show at the end of the video. It doesn't show. They did just show
Alright,
them
yeah,
fighting, and
never
then it
mind.
goes to the dude.
But the video I seen,
Yeah,
That's
it
not
looks
right.
more
Like, they
like
start
he's
fighting.
ready to fight that.
he starts fighting. No, they do fight. Like they fight during the wedding.
Here, do you want me to go back to it?
No, it's good.
I don't know too much about the scenario and what went on, but I think, you know, judging from knowing past people's experiences that I've known personally, again, man, if you are not if you don't have the respect, and this all comes down to respect, right? Because as a man, and if you're dealing with your masculine energy, and if you respect your higher self and you respect your future self, I don't want to sound sexist, and trust me, sisters, it's not to me sound sexist, but if you don't have the respect to where the woman respects you enough to not speak in a certain kind of manner to the people who have brought you into this planet, and you're doing whatever you want to do, and this, they say, love lowers your IQ. I think that's like a real thing. They say love lowers your IQ. So if you are not have to have one, you don't have the emotional intelligence enough. Two, you don't have the masculinity enough in your body, because they say DNA is just a direction that's going to give your hormones direction, right? So if you are not eating the proper food, you are not listening, and you're not being around matured masculinity, then this woman probably would be able to talk to you any kind of way. She tells you any kind of thing. She talks to your mother any kind of way, talk to your father any kind of way. So if this woman left him, I'm only going to assume, if this woman left him, and then for whatever reason she did, or whatever the father even may know about her, he doesn't approve. Something about your parental unit, which is your first guardian, is telling you that something isn't right for you, son. Now, for me, it's up to my son to kind of figure out his own way. I can only give you the game. I can only give you what I see. And it's up to you to see what it is that you're going to be entailed for. And it's up to you to stick that out. You're going to have to write that out. Just like if you want to be out here causing havoc in the streets, then, by all means, you're not acting within your godly design and your divine nature as a God. They say, man is made in God's image, then I have to believe that was a black man. So if you are not acting in your design manner, in your design nature, then you're going to be imbalanced again. And now when you are imbalanced, you can be controlled. So I think that's what his father is seeing, is that you are imbalanced and it's not balanced here, and you're being controlled by somebody who's not good for you. So now I'm in my last ditch efforts, I'm going to go here and say, speak now, forever hold your peace. And he's like, you're not doing this. Who spoke up first?
He did.
It was father. The father is the only person who spoke up.
No. Who spoke up out of the two?
She did. She spoke up, not the boy. Which lets you know who run the relationship.
Who run the relationship?
And IQ, like you said, love lowers your IQ. Because ain't no way you about to tell me, you about to tell my mom or my grandfather, which is my dad.
You can leave.
You know what I'm saying?
She wasn't even
what I'm saying?
It was his situation to handle at that moment in time, because it was his dad who was having a problem with their situation. And I just think it's funny because, like, regardless, at the end, him and his dad are fighting. So it's like, at what point of that relative are you going to continue to push the scenario? Like, clearly your son's doing this and he's fighting for it. So you spoke to peace, and it is what it is.
Yeah. You're going to have to live with that. I ain't going to the point to where I'm going to be fighting, because you're going to be fighting whatever, whether your son or daughter decides that they're going to mess with the same sex, or they're going to do this, do that, whatever they're going to make in life. They want to work at Home Depot, or you want them to go to college and they don't want to go to college. Now what? You're fist fighting? So, it's like you have to come to some kind of emotional intelligence, even as the father, as the man, to say, well, son, if this is what you're going to do, you have to ride this out. Well, again, she the one that spoke up, and he didn't even speak up. So the father and son had stuff clearly that they needed to iron out before he should have even jumped into wedlock.
Yeah, it seemed too like at the beginning he was listening to what his dad had to say too, or they were at least having a conversation about it.
That's why she stepped in there and told him to get out of there.
Before he changed his mind.
So why wasn't he invited? Who didn't invite him? The son or the daughter? The daughter didn't invite you? Oh yeah, she's running the whole situation. He's not going to agree with that.
But this is a real thing, and the reason why I say this is because I have two brothers that I do not speak to because of the women they've chose. And because the women they chose don't want them to talk to us, be around us, those men have chose that direction. And I have a third brother right now who's with someone, she don't like me, but she never gave a reason why she don't like me. I've always been cordial with her, respectful, acknowledge her existence every time I've seen her, and she always has something slick to say about me whenever I come up. But any of my sisters be like, you don't even know him. You've never given him a chance. You don't talk to him or anything. So why do you have an attitude with him? And then my brother, he just has no, he hasn't even gotten involved to really understand why. Because there's no way you plan to marry a woman, have children with a woman who has a strong dislike for one of your brothers, and your brother has never given her a reason why she feels that way. She just feel like she can ignore and say whatever she wants whenever she's around, and you don't feel the need to put her in her place. That is a problem. And I love my brother more than I hate her. So I keep myself from saying stuff whenever she's around, because I know that we've already almost got into a fight because of her, because she tried to get a problem started between me and him. But that's something that he dismisses, and that's something that I'm like, bro, the reason we may never be brothers or our relationship ends will be because of her. So this situation hits home for me, because a lot of men will be so deeply involved with a woman and feel guilty because a woman will say, well, I'm your wife and you're not defending me, and why do you feel like it's okay for him to say that or this, that, and third? And some men will feel so obligated to go against their own family for her, when she could up and just leave one day after you disown your family and you ain't talking to nobody no more. Right. Behind her. These are things that actually happen, and it's actually happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a real life situation that people need to pay attention to. Like that's some real shit. Love does lower your IQ, especially if you're not mentally and emotionally intelligent enough to stand on your own. And a lot of men don't have nothing to stand on, so they fall for anything.
A lot of us is raised by single parent mothers, you know what I mean? So
exactly.
We have a lot of the estrogen in us, or the feminine qualities in us, that's actually is not teaching us and preparing us how to deal with women. If you think about men, we're not taught to deal with baby dolls, right? We're not taught to play with dolls. But the earliest form of stage of emotional intelligence, we grow into grown men who don't know how to deal with children, because we're not taught to be emotionally connected. Women are taught to deal with baby dolls, play with, Barbies, and how to get in touch with your feminine side. We're not taught that. We're taught, don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. So now when you are dealing with a man who's dealing with a woman and I don't believe a man should be, not, I want to say controlled by a woman or letting a woman lead, because if you let a woman lead, you then become her child. That's how I feel. You then become her child if you let her solely lead you. Because now what my brother is saying is that woman is starting to ostracize you from your family, from your connection, and from the people who's going to tell you and should have your best interests at heart, because they birthed you, they brought you into this world, and so forth. Now she's ostracizing you from that connection. And now your mother can't tell you anything. Now you're not coming to family functions, or when you do come to family functions, she's running the whole everything that you're doing, and your family is seeing this, and now they're like, yo, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So we have to look at those things are very, very real. I had a friend who dealt with a kid's mother, right? He's not with his kid's mother. I said, hey man, we got to go do this trip in 4 or 5 months. He immediately put his head down and was like, I got to deal with my baby mama, man. I'm like, bro, that's 5 months out. You're an excellent father. But she makes him feel like anytime that he don't want or can't get his child, whether it's for work or anything else, she makes him feel so bad to where she beat him down so bad to where, bro, we got a trip in 6 months. He immediately just got beat down immediately by thinking about her. So like the women that men are picking are women, the men that women are picking as well, because R. Kelly pulled everybody from their family. So, you got to look at things like that. People who have controlling issues and don't have resolved childhood issues with their parents and have abandonment issues is then going to project and reflect and project that onto you. So now you see she was the one that's calling all the shots. She immediately said, you can go. That tells me that he wasn't even invited. You could tell from how he dressed he wasn't invited.
I mean, the son wasn't dressed too much better.
Yeah, that's true.
I think just family dynamics in general are difficult to speak on, because especially when it comes to marriage, you have these two families that are going to be linked together through marriage, and they can be completely different or they can be 100% similar, but no matter what, you still have to balance those dynamics. And like a lot of people, like the woman is coming into another family. You're taking that family's name, you're adopted into that family, but then she has her family too. And it's like deciding on who's playing those roles and all the different scenarios you're gonna have to partake in, like just knowing the way a family dynamic works and prioritizing your own family dynamic. Like my household is gonna be held above everybody else's household to me. Like this is our family. We're now coming together to start our own dynamic. So of course the opinions and how well we get along with each other's family is important, but at the end of the day too, like we have to do what's best for us and our family that we're starting as well. So like it can go both ways, I feel like.
You know what? My wife just told me she's dealing with disempowered masculinity. Let that sink in. Disempowered masculinity. How much empowerment did that father put into that child to where he feel like he has empowered masculinity? And again, what we said, when you have certain kind of masculinity and it's not toxic masculinity, and you have the qualifications, she's going to naturally submit and she's going to want to follow you. That's when we talk about why they want to see the workers. And you know, you can have a millionaire, but if you just a millionaire, you got a screw face, you're not happy, you're controlling, then that, and you're here with me all the time, and I don't even know what physically you can do. That's really not attractive to me, to my mind, right? So now, are you dealing with empowered masculinity to where we're going to cultivate you, teach you how to be a proper male, how to walk upright, how to speak proper, how to use proper etiquette, how to use proper grammar, be articulate. Can you use your hands? Can you build? Can you use your mind? Stop being creative. You know, this probably was a young man. I even got a young man in the South. He lived here now. He was like, I'm teaching him how to create an LLC, how to create a business. You're an excellent cook. He said, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to create a business. His father always taught him to do the standardized way of living and follow these social norms. And you got to work for somebody else instead of becoming an owner and working for yourself. So see, that young man now has disempowered masculinity. He don't believe in himself to where he can even create a business for himself. He still believes he has to work for somebody else and sell food plates on the side instead of creating an LLC and having all the food be a write-off, have all your expenses be a write-off. He's not dealing with empoweredness. He's dealing with disempoweredness. So now when he's so disempowered, what did his father teach him? You know what I mean? Did he build him up, or is he tearing him down? And now you're dealing with a child who's dealing with a woman who has the masculinity of herself, right? And she's so empowered, she's so probably even hurt and disconnected from herself to where now I got to have control over something, and I'm going to control this man.
Right. Well, he obviously like it. I mean, he marrying it, so. I just think at some point you got to step away.
Like it, you know.
You got to step away and just let people be. I mean, when your son is willing to fight you, like fist fight you to be with some chick to go do what they're doing, just let it go. It's like, really, bro?
It's also time and place too, because like I said, you did it in front of everybody. Like
he was ready to fight everybody.
Now you're challenging my manhood, bro. You're not even, like I said, if it would have been behind the closed doors and you was like, hey son, like something's up. If she just broke up with you and now y'all get married, like something's up. But again,
but it says speak now or forever hold your peace.
It's just like, bro,
think about how many women give men an ultimatum though. At the end of the day,
all the time,
they've been married for too long. What she feel like, so she's like, or they've been dating for too long. What she feels like, so it's like she'll hit you with that ultimatum. Like, when are you trying to get married? I'm only want something serious, stuff like that. And sometimes that'll end up in a breakup. Like, okay, we're breaking up, but then
so you think that's what happens? I
think it could be something like that. I mean, I ain't saying it is, but it could.
Because in my mind, they had like a wedding, an engagement, and then they had like a date already, and then like the wedding was planned and all that. And then she broke. This is in my mind. This is what happened. And then they had the date already set, and then she broke up with him. And then she went and got with somebody else, and then she got back with him, and then the dad found out about it, and then he came and wanted to end whatever was going on.
Yeah, that could have happened too, but I don't think homie's gonna be fighting back if his dad told him that.
I mean, he don't know yet. The dad
but if you start swinging at me, I'm about to bring your whole world down with that.
The dad hadn't explained the situation yet.
What? Yeah, but I said once the son starts swinging at me, it's like, all right, son. These words that I'm about to tell you, bro, they go hit harder than your fist.
Even if it is like an ultimatum situation where she was like, I mean, we've been together for too long, now we should get married type thing. Like, no one should be pressured to go into a different stage of a relationship if they're not ready for it. So even the dad speaking up on that, being like, are you sure? Because you didn't want to get married before, now all of a sudden you're getting married right away.
Right. Because now
not only that, but when you
like, damn.
Go ahead, when you jumping in a relationship, oh, thank you, man, appreciate you. When you jump in a relationship, is the person you in a relationship with somebody you can build a business with? You know what I'm saying?
Family equal business, man.
If you know, I have to, you know, expose myself, you know what I'm saying, everything about me is that safe with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, what about me can I be secure that you got me in that area? There's a lot of stuff that goes into marriage that a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot that, honestly, men have to give up and do give up to be with a woman, especially when it comes to marriage. So it's like, if you're going to do that, you got to make sure the person you're picking is the person you really want to be with, and that it's the right thing to do. Because a lot of the time, people go into these things with this false sense of love, but nigga, you can't go to divorce court and get your love back.
Or even to follow that stigma of what's expected of them as a man, because that's what's being pushed out. Like, it's expected for you to ask someone to marry you and to build a family and to do all this stuff. But really, like, at the end of the day, you should be asking yourself, what's best for you? How is this going to help you grow and be the best person you can be? And if that person's not right for you, you're not going to grow to be who you're supposed to be.
Yeah,
that part. Because love, like, there's a lot of fake love in a lot of relationships. Like, and a lot of people put this on the boundaries of, oh, it's respectful to the relationship. Well, there's three things. There's you, there's our relationship, and then there's me. Like, you live your life, do your thing, you have you time, go do whatever. And then there's us being in a relationship, what we do together, and this, that, and the third. And then there's me. So if I feel like I want to go out at whatever time and be gone for however long, that's my right and my business to do so. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be forced or have an ultimatum on when I should come back because you don't like that I'm out. But when a female is out, she doing her thing, it's all good and well. You know what I'm saying? Those things have to be fair across the board. And a lot of the times they're not. A man is expected to buy the house and have the house and have this, that, and the third because that's what she wants. But it's like, what about what he wants? That goes out the window. Mother's Day comes around, you get everything. Father's Day come around, we get a car.
Who hurt you, JD?
This toolbox. It's not about who hurt me. It ain't about who hurt me. This is the reality. This is the reality of it. Because how many times do you go to on Father's Day and everything is sold out? He's not wrong. He's not wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's true. But you did say there's a lot of single mothers out there, though, right? You did say that.
Happy wife. They say happy wife, happy life.
I think one thing people need to realize too, like Nip
caters to,
man, is that we don't own each other. We only experience each other. So like what my little bro said, you know,
exactly.
If you want to be out, if she want to be out, if you need some you time and go out with the girls, then that should be okay. You know, we put ownership on people to the point to where we learned that from our oppressors. It was, you know, unfortunately it was white women who was supposed to stay home, be the Susie homemaker, the white picket fence, and it was white women who would be in the work field. And that's where women, black picked up the, you know, feminism because white women wanted to be in the work field. At one point, black women was at home with the male and we were still oppressed and wasn't supposed to get jobs, begging for jobs anyway. But black women picked up that mantle because black men was taken out of the homes. So when you are taught this, again, back to the systematic oppression and these the systemic social engineering, we have been engineered to be split from each other. And we have picked that, we have to assume that we have learned that behavior from somewhere, you know. And again, we don't own anybody. Nobody was placed on this earth and was born to place ownership over anybody. But once you get in a relationship, remember I said it lowers your IQ. When you get into a relationship, how many people on here got in a relationship and all of a sudden there was invisible expectations? It was invisible expectations. You're not supposed to like it. You're not supposed to speak to nobody. You're supposed to come home and you have never discussed any of these boundaries.
You too nice to these other girls. Am I supposed to just be mean to people?
Yeah, now you too nice to other girls.
That's why you like me, because I care about everybody. I'm nice to everybody. I treat everybody with respect. Now all of a sudden you don't want me to do that.
And that's an invisible.
Once I'm with you, that has to go out the window. So these are the things that you like about a man, but they have to leave once you're with him and you're married. And it's like, nah, because there's stuff about y'all that has to remain. Well, this is just me. This is how I am. Take it or leave it. It's like, whoa, what? Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, so healthy dialogues and check-ins. Me and my wife, we do check-ins try to do them every week, much as we can, even if it's not anything that's particularly bad that's going on. You know what I mean? Like, do a check-in. That way you can have these boundaries already discussed, already checked. I always tell people, like, you know, at this point, if you're gonna get in a relationship, have a discussion about boundaries, have a discussion about your do's and your likes and don't dislikes. I put it to like this: how many people got with a partner you feel like all of a sudden you can't discuss what kind of porn you like? Now you don't know whether or not, because now you're feeling like a little insecurity, like she might think I'm weird, he might think I'm weird, but now you can't even be authentic with yourself, right? So now
I don't know what that feels like.
You don't know what that feels like, right? So now you don't know what that feels like. Crazy.
Like, I'm gonna send you what I like. It's like, yo, look.
Exactly.
So, but you know, for the most part, people don't get to
talk about it later.
They don't get to be authentic. And when you're not being your authentic self, then you're only being a reflection of what you think that person wants you to be. You're being a character now. You're not being authentic. Right. You know, this person wants me to talk a certain way, dress a certain way, talk a certain way. Like you know, little bro JD said, like, now I hug people, I'm friendly with people. Now I gotta feel like I can't be friendly, I can't speak to people now that I'm usually speaking to. So like, you can't be authentic self with people, then you probably end up in this kind of relationship that we just experienced and watched on this video, because how authentic are they being with themselves? You can't be authentic with yourself, you can't be authentic with me.
Right.
Y'all might like the same kind of weird stuff, but now you feel like you know what I'm saying? Y'all might really like the same kind of stuff, or you might be like, oh, I didn't know you like that. Now I'm kind of get introduced to something new. Now you're growing, right? Because you're getting introduced to something new. But you can't even talk about something as simple as sexual preference and what you like, even in porn. Then I'm feeling like I'm ashamed. I feel like I'm embarrassed. I feel like you're going to shame me because I like a certain thing. And then you end up getting inside of these relationships, and then they grow. And now she feel like, I can tell you anything. You're so passive. Or even her. He might be the reverse role. And how many parents as a father? Let's reverse the role. How about that? Let's reverse the role. What would it be like if the son, the man was having his daughter, and then the father showed up for the daughter, or the mother showed up for the daughter, and the son immediately turned to the mother or the daughter and be like, you can go. You weren't even invited in the first damn place.
I think that'd be on the bride's side. I think that because in that situation, the woman seems like she's captive. Like we don't view men as victims.
Right. So, right.
With the husband being under attack, we instinctively isn't gonna view him as a victim. Where if the dad came in and was snatching up the daughter, like, that looks bad. But I mean, if like let's say if it's the mom walks in and she's telling the daughter like she don't think she should marry this man, then that seems more of like a equal
right
comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're not gonna feel as bad. You're not gonna feel as bad for the bride, like she's the victim. It's like you better go handle your mama.
Yeah. But what if the male turns around to the mama and flashes on her?
Yeah, see, then it looks bad.
Got a problem.
Yeah, and like no matter, that's the thing. If you a man, you're fucked, bro. Like, it's one of those you damned if you do and damned if you don't situations. Cause like, think of like just think of having a spar, having a fight. Like if y'all had to fight Misha Tate, bro, one of y'all, like one of these men. Mm-hmm. You damned if you do, and damned if you like. If you beat her ass, bro, you beat a woman's ass.
You're
like,
a woman beater.
Right.
You're a woman beater. You abuse women.
What's going on?
And if you
lose, you weak. You let a woman beat you.
You just got beat by a white woman. So yeah, you're screwed if you don't. Screwed if you do. Like in that situation, if like you just gotta shut up and let the woman, like you gotta let her put on her big girl panties.
Yep.
Like,
well, even if the mom spoke up for the husband in the scenario too, like the woman shouldn't interject either, because that's his mom. Like clearly, it's his parents are speaking on behalf of him and saying they got a problem with your marriage. I'd be curious to hear their reasons. Like we all should talk about this.
Right.
Right. Absolutely. I definitely think that I agree with Eminem. I would think that she should want to hear what the issue is, and maybe they should sit down and talk about it and figure out what they can do to resolve the problem. Because if you're actually going to be in a marriage and actually become a family, then you should actually want to resolve some problems. Yeah. There actually are some. Communication is key, right? In any kind of relationship.
See, that's what makes me feel like she hit him with that ultimatum, because she seemed like she wanted to be married more than he did.
Yeah, she was ready to fight for it.
Oh yeah,
that's why I feel like she hit. The reason why they broke up was because she hit him with that ultimatum. Like I'm not just gonna be a forever girlfriend. And women do that. They'll hit men with ultimatums. Like I'm not just gonna be a forever girlfriend, or I'm looking to be married and have kids, and they'll leave him.
And it did seem like she was. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was just saying, it seemed like she was more worried about the fact that they were just getting married, because, like, for me, if our family is beefing and it's this huge thing to the point where they want to stop our wedding, like, we got a problem. We all need to figure it out. And she don't.
Y'all can just get the fuck up and we can.
Exactly.
Like we can set it back up again and let's go.
But that should already be a red flag to him too, unless there's more to this situation that we just don't. I mean, clearly we don't have all the details, but all around it just looks bad to get married to begin with. So, on them.
I agree.
Yeah, what it is really is a shitty situation.
Yeah.
And speaking of shitty situations, like we've all. Before we get into this next topic, which is going to be our last and final topic. I'm going to stop and give you guys a chance to subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button to share so you get notifications whenever we drop videos like this in the future. Remember, we're trying to grow this page to our first 100 subscribers, so be a part of the journey. Now, this last topic. Accidents happen, or pencils wouldn't have erasers. When we've all had those
I like that
chances where maybe you sneeze and you got a booger on your nose, you don't know. But having an embarrassing accident in a public space. And that brings us to the video I am dubbing Shit Happens. I'm gonna let Eminem share his screen and go ahead and play that next topic.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
You gotta turn on the volume.
Whenever people would get dressed, we wouldn't leave the room to her child.
If I should do a part 2.
You guys seem to be shocked that people didn't always come the cleanest for their Brazilian wax, but I'm gonna really blow your mind with this one. The real reason I quit my waxing job. So I was waxing this lady's Brazilian. It was my first time seeing her, and every time you get a Brazilian wax, it includes the butt. So it came to the part where I was waxing her butt and I told her to lift her knees to her chest, and when she did, she farted directly on my arm and I felt a particle hit my arm. A dookie fleck. It was whatever, and I just finished up the wax and, told her she could get dressed. And whenever people would get dressed, we wouldn't leave the room. We would just turn around to give them their privacy. So I turn around, I'm like cleaning up my station, and I hear the paper on the bed ripping. I'm like,
my bad.
Paper on the bed ripping. I'm like, that's weird. That's my job to do it. So I turn around to see what she's doing, and this grown woman is holding a turd in her hand, and she's trying to wrap it up in the paper. She tried to throw it in my trash can, and I told her, ma'am, you got to go flush that.
I have nothing.
I love how professional. Like she maintained professional the whole time. She said, "Man,
right? They must pay her a lot. Like her bank account is on slow with that job. Her bank account is on slow.
She been doing her job for a while. That's why she.
No, she getting paid. Either her kink is butthole farts and poop.
No, she said she quit. She quit after that.
Oh, okay. Right.
She would have liked it. She said, "No, I'm done, bro." Like I thought that was just a fart flake, and it turned around it's a whole turd.
A fart flake. That's some new lingo to me.
Right, and you trying to throw it away in my garbage? Like, why wouldn't you just take it with you?
She
like,
said,
I'm gonna fly that.
Hit my arm.
Oh man.
And now
She had to boo boo is what it was, and she tried to hold it in the whole time she was getting her wax.
Put her
she needed to go boo boo.
At what point do you just have some common courtesy to be like, I need to go to the bathroom first,
right,
before you sit there and let her down there?
Reschedule. I mean, reschedule. There's nothing wrong with a reschedule. You having some bowel problems? You got gas. Burritos.
No,
I'm nervous.
She didn't say diarrhea. She said a turd.
Yeah,
like a turd. She had to push that out.
No, she said a dookie flick. I'm not even sure.
I'm telling you, she put her knees to her chest, and when she ripped it off, it was that pucker.
Right, yeah. They pushed it out.
Yeah. It was one of them. You got to shit. Because when you fart a certain way, you got to shit.
Yeah, you got a turd. Sometimes you got diarrhea. You don't know. It might just be an accident.
The fart. She probably thought it was the fart until she turned around. Like,
I don't know how you do that. Like, how do you do that? The fart? That don't make no sense.
Yeah, I'm confused.
It was when she said she heard the paper rip. When she heard the paper rip.
She said, "That's my job."
Like, hold on, wait.
Wow. Excuse me, ma'am. You need to go flush that.
That's my favorite part too. Like how professional she was. Like, ma'am, you gotta go flush that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can maintain that. Like, you gonna at least see it in my face. Like, what the?
Exactly.
Was she embarrassed?
And I'm gonna ask you, put that in my trash can?
I can hear 9 right now.
You was about to put that in my trash can.
I don't hold back. I will be sitting there looking real confused. I don't hide my expressions, my emotions. I sit there looking like, are you fucking serious?
Exactly.
I just got a Brazilian wax and you just pushed out a turd on a dookie? Did you just dookie flick on my what are you doing?
So you
gonna sit there and look at me with a straight face. You mean to tell me you had to go number 2 and you put your leg to your chest? You knew.
The whole time.
Like, I'm not getting past the flake at all. Like, as soon as the shit's like,
what are you doing? Right.
Right.
I'm looking around for cameras. Am I on a TV show? My coworkers is punking me. They set you up. They sent you in here. I'm looking for stuff. Listen. I'm running out. I'm not even. Look, I'm going out the door. Who joke is this?
That's a whole chemical attack.
To the coworker.
Like, that's chemical warfare. Like, you trying to get E. coli,
biological
Ebola,
warfare,
and all that.
She put a COVID flick on me.
I don't think I would have been able to refrain, like, when she first, like, farted, to be like, do you need to go to the bathroom for a second before we do this?
Something is up.
Yeah.
A poop flake hit your arm.
No.
That's the thing, though. Like, she acted like a kid. Like, a kid don't know when they're gonna let it go or try to hide.
She felt the mist.
Like,
the fart mist on her arm. She said she felt the mist on her. Like, I don't think you understand. Yeah. Like, she felt the mist and was like, oh, it's whatever. Like, I'm not, it's whatever.
It's whatever.
Like, I'm feeling the mist and I'm like, yo.
I'm going home and I'm letting somebody else that's a coworker this whole situation.
Like, right on my arm. It's right here.
You're gonna have to explain it. Why are you moving? Talk to her.
I just said you could feel the moisture.
Yeah. I don't care about the table. There's tissue on the table. There's no tissue on my arm, lady.
Oh no.
Like, I'm not gonna do a whole rub now. Like, no, yeah.
So she got a Brazilian.
Like, she look at buttholes all day though. So I mean, for us, it's like different because we don't be looking at buttholes all day. But she's like, she sees
knew what it was.
Buttholes and pubic hair. I mean, think about it.
Cassie knew what
y'all think about that. Think about that. She's seasoned. She's experienced. She sees buttholes all the time, bro. And you ain't just gonna gross her out. And she quit. And she quit. She got hit with the initial flicks, and she said, "Oh, it's whatever."
So she invested time into, went to school for. Like y'all said, this every day, and it was one time she got hit with some dookie mist.
She does not. She's not my frontline worker. This happens all the time. But when you see the shit, when you try to put the turd in my trash can, that's when I draw the line.
Right. Draw the line. You know, disrespectful. You put it in the trash can. So next I gotta clean it up. 2, if I don't, the next person gonna come in like, damn, it's shitty in here.
Like, I'll pass.
It's shitty in here.
It's shitty in here.
It's like, it's a shitty situation.
It's a shit. You did a shitty job.
Yeah.
Hey, but shit happens. So
shit happens, right? Yeah, clearly that's what she thought because you put it in the trash can like it was nothing to it. She does this clearly. She had a routine down and everything. I'm gonna wrap it up in this little piece.
Hey, she did.
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna put it in the trash can when she ain't looking.
She was doing.
What? So you do this? This is just what you do, right?
Right.
You're just a shitty individual. Okay. Shit.
You're just a shitty person.
You're just a shitty person. What the hell? Oh man, no. We can't.
Look at JD's dumbass freeze face. That's so funny. That's gonna be the thumbnail, right there.
That's gonna be the thumbnail right there.
Yeah. I'm cropping that right there, and it's gonna be our thumbnail.
No, I'm sure we look.
That's horrible.
So,
what's the questions?
Tell me about an embarrassing moment in your guys' life and how you dealt with it. Because that's like you.
Okay, I actually have one.
Since we've been in the victim's shoes, let's switch the scenario, the perspective to like if we were the assailant. Like, what if we were the ones who attacked them with the poop particles?
God
damn it.
I have a situation kind of like that has poop, but it wasn't like attacking anyone with a poop particle.
Because I would have done the same thing, except I wouldn't have tried to put it in her trash can. Like, I would have folded that bitch up a bunch of times and she would have never seen it. Like, this is in my pocket. And I gotta go to
it was an actual turd though, bro. Like, how you gonna fit a whole turd? A whole turd in your pocket?
She said you were ripping the paper. So you shit, like when you get a massage, or I don't know about Brazilian wax, because I ain't never had a Brazilian wax. But I'm assuming they'll want cross-contamination from bodies on bodies, so they're gonna put down the paper, right?
Yeah, that's it's a long one.
And she said she was ripping the paper. So all I gotta do is rip the paper on both sides, fold that bitch, put it in your pocket, bro, you good. I mean, you're not good because you still got.
You got poop in your pocket.
I'm excusing myself. I just
now you just go to the bathroom and flush it. Like I gotta use the bathroom, and she just don't think you farting.
Yeah.
She said that when she turned around, she was trying to hide the turd in the papers. Like she must. I know.
And lay back down, like continue.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, we gonna finish this or what? I got a date at 8.
Oh no.
I
got a hot date.
Like you need some wipes. Like I'm not. You gotta take a shower. Like what you mean? You got a date? Does he know you do this? Like I'm telling him. Like I'm going on your date. I'm letting him know what a shitty date you about to be.
You better not involve food. Take you to a juice bar.
All foods only.
Then the poop would have been all up on her. She would have just had. If she was at a juice bar, can you imagine if she actually had juice?
No.
That little splatter, that little flick that was on her arm.
Yeah, it'd have been more than just a flake.
The whole situation would have been so much worse.
She would have been doused.
Exactly. Doused in poop water.
I just don't see how being in that situation, as soon as you feel like you're having a stomach problem or like you're gonna have some gas or you need to go to the bathroom, stop it. Like we can't go any further, and it's just for you and me.
Right.
Yeah, get away from my butt. Get away from my butt. Like if I got a fart or anything, get away from my butt. Like I'm not even gonna.
She got her knees to her chest. Like she don't give a crap. Just like whatever. It's whatever.
I'm just trying to picture the whole thing, like the knees to the chest and everything.
I'm not even about to be little spoon if I have to fart. And this woman got a whole ass Brazilian wax. Like you know you felt that. Your body talked to you. You just wasn't listening.
Exactly.
Just knees to the chest.
She didn't care.
Hey, bro, you gotta leave and come back.
Oh, sir, yeah.
He hella Borgen.
That's horrible.
Yeah, she did not care. That was horrible.
Yeah, she cocked that thing back like a pistol and fired off. Boom.
Right?
Wow.
But why didn't she at least like a warning? Like, hold on, I got to fart. Like if I like I've never got a Brazilian wax, but like I said, if I was in that situation and I'm feeling the rumbling in my tummy, I already know pain make you pucker up.
Right.
Pain and surprises. That's what make you pucker up.
Bro, that's like going to play.
Hold on.
Why are you going to go play hoop if you know you got stomach issues? Like, go to the bathroom first, get it out, just accident on the court. That'd be the worst thing, running up down the court and it kind of slip out through the shorts. Somebody done slipped on it.
No, while you in that position, is somebody up from behind you?
Right. Listen.
And you share.
I feel like that situation is better because you can just blame it on the next person. Like, whereas the wax, like, it's just me and you in the room. So, like, I know I didn't do it. Like I know it wasn't me, so it has to be you.
The thing is, too, you're already, like, in an uncomfortable situation. Like, the positions you have to be in sometimes for the Brazilian wax, like, women will talk about it all the time. Sometimes they make you get up on all fours like you're a dog. And, like, so it's like you're already in these embarrassing or uncomfortable situations. Why would you want to make it even more uncomfortable? Like, why don't you just say something?
They got her in there in childbirth. She gave him in birth positions.
I want to say scat is probably her kink.
Scat.
She says scat. Well, we know what you watching on Pornhub. No. Definitely not. That's disgusting.
She was getting her Brazilian wax for the 2 Girls 1 Cup video.
No shit.
Right? Ew.
She said, I'm authentic with my boo. He gonna know what I watch.
Thank you. It's been great.
I got a link in the Facebook chat.
Yeah. All right, folks. if you want to get access to our exclusive content before we post it and things that we will not post on YouTube, become patrons and join our patrons. $5 donations gets you exclusive access to all this content that we're not going to post on YouTube, and it gets you content ahead of time. You'll get it before it's released.
You gotta tell them, click the link in the bio.
Yeah.
Don't be stingy.
I'll leave a link to Jaylani's podcast in the description box. Remember,
That's
like,
my cash
subscribe.
Yeah,
That's my cash app.
The other way.
Well, it looks like it's right here with me. That's my cash app.
I'm gonna have my cash app on there too.